Hi everyone, and welcome to the Knit California podcast. My name is Leslie. I am Knit California here on YouTube and also over on Instagram and TikTok, and I've got a regular podcast episode coming at you today. It's been 2 weeks since my last episode, and in that episode, if you watched it, you may remember I was not in the best mood. I was missing an important family event, and there was a hurricane going on at the time. It was my hurricane episode. So I'm happy to say we didn't get any damage or anything from the hurricane. It was just some heavy rain, heavy wind, mostly at night. I think the worst part of it was really just all the rain hitting the windows, so it was hard for me to go to sleep that night, but that was really it. And then last weekend, and why there wasn't an episode, I actually went up to LA to see my family to make up for not being there for the special event that I missed the weekend before. So I was spending a lot of time doing that. I did go to a knitting store while I was up in LA, so I have those acquisitions to show you and to talk about that fun little trip later in the episode. But before that, I want to share with you the progress that I'm making on my Ireland projects. I need to talk to you about that. Mostly because I cast on a brand new whip, and so I need to talk to you about that also. So in the last episode, I talked specifically about how I cast on these two cabled projects for my Ireland trip, the Dornie Sweater and the Eclair Raglan. Both beautiful cabled sweater patterns knit in worsted weight. Actually, let me show you. I think I have progress on this one more than what you saw last week, or 2 weeks ago, but I can't fully remember. So this is my Dornie Sweater by Rebecca Clow from the Crea Bea. I'm knitting this in Coast to Coast Yarn Co. This is her natural worsted base, I believe. Yeah, this is her natural worsted base. So it's 100% non-superwash merino 4-ply, and it's in this lovely green colorway called Gothic House with Secrets. And I don't know if you can see on camera, but it's definitely a tonal. Yeah, you can kind of see some of the stripes and the different colors. There's definitely split specks of more blue leaning green and more yellow leaning green, which is kind of cool. It's definitely gonna look really good once it's done. I have just been not in the right headspace to work on this or to work on my Eclair Raglan at all. I talked about it in the last episode where I was feeling just a lot of pressure to work on this and get this done because it has a deadline for when I actually leave for Ireland, and it really wasn't inspiring me. And last week, I don't know, I was just in a really down mood overall. Yeah, this wasn't inspiring me at all. I really just needed what I called a serotonin cast on, something that was really gonna make me happy and something that I really wanted to work on, not something that I felt like I needed to work on. So I got to the point, I just put it down, let me pick it back up. I got to the point in the pattern where it said I was done with the raglan increases, and I actually tried this on and I was like, there's no way I'm done with the raglan increases. So I blocked it to double check, and I took a measurement of how long the raglan increase line is, and it's at the point where in the pattern it says I should be splitting for sleeves. This is measuring 9 inches. In the pattern it says it needs to be 8.5 inches, so it's actually a little bit more, it's half an inch longer. But what I did was I actually measured some of my raglan sweaters that I had knit last year to see how long those raglan increases are, and they are more than 9 inches. They're like, my oversized raglans are measuring 11 inches for the raglan seam. So I don't necessarily know that I want to go all the way to 11 inches, but I would like this to be a little bit more oversized and have more positive ease than I think what's necessarily recommended in the pattern. So I am going to continue this. I need to do a little bit of measuring to figure out how many rows I need to add before I split for sleeves, because this is worsted weight. I don't actually think it's that many. It's probably only it's gonna be like less than 10 rounds, I think, until I get another couple inches on here. But that's where I'm at with this one, and I just haven't been in the right headspace to pick it back up and want to start working on it. If you've knit cables in the past, I mean, you know that they can be pretty intense projects. Like, it's not that they are difficult. Actually doing the cable stitches, they're just knit stitches. You put stitches on hold, you've got to like swap the place of them, but like, that's not the difficult part. The difficult part for me is that it's not just straight stockinette knitting, which is what I've really been doing for a while now. You know, the stitches between the cables are a ribbed pattern, and they're different ribbed patterns depending on where you are in relation to the cable. So it's like cable, rib pattern, cable, different rib pattern, cable, rib pattern, cable, different rib pattern. So you really have to be paying attention as to like whether you're on a knit stitch or a purl stitch. And so it just takes more mindfulness and paying attention when you're working on it. Again, not a bad thing. It's just not where I've been like mentally and emotionally able to work on that, because I've just had like so much other stuff like outside of knitting stuff like going on in my head. So what I really wanted to do and felt like I needed to do was take some inspiration from my yarn stash back there. There's so much yarn in there that I've had for over a year, almost 2 years now, that I've had projects picked out for, and that I just haven't had the time or the space to cast them on. And I mean, really, I haven't made them a priority. I've made other cast-ons a priority. And there was one in particular that I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna cast this on right now. I've been wanting to knit this pattern. I've seen so many other people knit this pattern, and it looks so nice and so comfortable and so soft. And I've had the yarn for this for over a year, and I just want to do it. So I did it. And I've been calling this my Serotonin cast on because it has been making me happy. I have been able to release those serotonin happy hormones while working on this. And this is my Cumulus Blouse. Doesn't it look so good? This is a pattern by Petite Knit. And I am knitting it. I did a really bad job of getting all my yarn ready for this episode, but I am knitting it in 2 strands of Sorelli yarn Surrey held together. This is actually her Surrey sock base, if you can see. So this is a fingering weight Surrey. It's 100% Surrey alpaca, 437 yards in 100 grams. So I originally bought 3 skeins of this color. This is Studio, which is actually called Charlotte now. It's one of her fall tonal colors. So this color actually should be coming very soon back into the Sorella Tonals collection. I love it. It's like this dark pink. It's really beautiful. And then I also bought 3 skeins of this, which is the same base in the colorway You Are Good for the Soul, and this was from the Mayflower collection. And when I got this, I had bought first, these 3 skeins I bought first, and then I got this, and when I was putting them all in my stash and I saw them next to each other, I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is my Cumulus Blouse. These two, like, held together and marled together, I thought would just make the most beautiful, like, marled colored fabric. And I have to say, I'm really proud of myself with this one because, like, absolutely, I was right. It really depends on the light that you're looking at this in, but like sometimes it leans a little bit darker, sometimes in a brighter light it leans a little bit lighter. If you're looking at it really up close, let's see, you can kind of see the marling and both of those both strands in there, both the dark strand and the light strand. But I'm just absolutely loving how this is turning out. I cast this on, let's see, August 23rd was the date that I cast this on. Today's September 1st. I did the math earlier today. It's been like 10 days, I think, since I've cast this on. And so I think I'm done with the body. I need to try it on to make sure that this length is still good, or is good. And if I'm good with this length, then I can go ahead and just do the I-cord bind off. If I need to add another inch or so, then we'll do that, and then do the I-cord bind off. But in the meantime, I started with one of the sleeves. So I'm not quite halfway done with this sleeve yet, but once I figure out, I'm gonna do a few more decrease rounds and then try this on, and I will look for body length, and I will determine how much longer I want to knit the sleeve as well, and then I will have those measurements, and then I'm just gonna go. I'm like trying to finish this weekend. We'll see. It's a 3-day weekend, so we'll see, but it's going really well. The only thing is that using this Surrey sock yarn means that it's 2 strands of fingering weight held together, so it's basically like a DK weight. And the pattern is interesting because on Ravelry it says a strand of lace weight plus a strand of lace weight equals an Aran weight, which is like not technically what, like those really equal a fingering weight, but it's knit at like a larger, more open gauge, so that it's like an Aran weight gauge basically. My gauge is a little bit bigger than what it calls for in the pattern. Okay, the gauge per the pattern is 18 stitches per 4 inches on 4.5mm needles. I honestly maybe could have been closer to that if I had just knit this on 4.5mm needles, but I didn't want it to be too thick, I knew, since this was 2 strands of fingering weight. So I went up to 5mm needles, and my gauge is 14 stitches per 4 inches. So that's a 4-stitch difference. So what I decided to do was to actually go down a size that I was knitting. So for my bust size, I would have picked an extra large if I was on gauge, but I decided to go down to the size large. The other modification that I've already made is I did join the V like 4 rows sooner. I just wanted it to be, I honestly probably could have done it like higher up, I could have done it sooner, but I don't know, I didn't realize how deep it was already getting at that point. But I mean, that's not much of a difference, like, and I just joined it and then like continued on in the pattern the way it says, so you have to do one more like one more raglan increase round before you move on to the next set of instructions. So I just did that, but in the round instead of flat. Anyways, it looks really good. Hopefully I'm wearing it in the next episode and you can be like, ah, so good. It is incredibly squishy. Like, this fabric is so squishy. But I really hope I like it. And if it does turn out to be like, oh, I was saying, because it's 2 strands of fingering, like, I have a feeling it's gonna be like really hot and like warm to wear. So we'll see. I do have another sweater quantity in my stash of lace weight suri, to knit another one of these. Let me show you. Why not? I've gone back and forth to my yarn stash already like 4 times in this episode, so why not make it another one? Yeah, it's this. This is Explorer Knits Suri Alpaca Lace in the colorway Moonstone. It's so pretty. It's these like pinks and blues, and they mix with some purples in there as well. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's so pretty. This, when I got this, it was in one of those, I'm trying to remember if this was in a pre-order or if this was in like an in-stock update. I can't remember. Usually I'm good at remembering these things, but I can't remember. But I have 6 skeins of these, so yeah. It'll be cute. Definitely will be cute. So anyways, that has been my Serotonin project that I have just been working on nonstop for the past 10 days. I'm gonna try and finish it this weekend. It maybe will be like a 2-week project. Like, I knit this whole sweater in 2 weeks. It isn't like a huge gauge, like 14 stitches per 4 inches is a very large gauge, so it's not like that's crazy or anything. Like, I think a lot of people knit sweaters in a smaller gauge in the same amount of time or less time, so that's that. Okay. Oh, it's over here. While I've got it here, let me just show you. I think I showed this to you in the last podcast episode. I don't remember. But this is the progress that I've made on the Eclair Raglan. It's not that much. It's really just the part. This is just the short rows in the back. I haven't even joined it in the round yet. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'm like more intrigued to work on this because of the color of the yarn. I'm just like really into this pink and like all of these pinks right now. Once I finish my Cumulus, so maybe this will be the one that actually gets more work done. But I'm not gonna be, or I'm gonna try not to put pressure on myself to finish one of these 2 projects before I actually leave for Ireland. Like, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, and I'm gonna be okay with it. There are like other things that I would like to cast on and knit on this fall once I come back from Ireland, so I don't know. I guess I was just like, I was putting a lot of pressure on myself, I think, to knit 2 sweaters in like 5 weeks, and it was bringing me down, and it was unrealistic, and I knew it when I started. But I started them all anyways, so that's where we're at. Let me show you my last whip that I have. This one, I'm really close to being done with this one too, and maybe I can finish it soon. But this is my Sophie Shawl, and here's where I'm at. It's folded right at the middle, so I made it past the middle, and so this is how much I have left to finish. It's really not that much, especially considering that, like, you know, you're decreasing every few rounds. until the very end here. So it's not that much to finish. I think if I'd sat down with an evening of TV and my shawl, this probably could be done. But I'm really gonna focus on finishing my Cumulus blouse first, and then this. And then we'll see which cabled sweater I want to pick up and work on. So that's the update on my whips. I talked about this in my last episode, but this is the next thing that I would really like to cast on. This is Ruby and Rose's hand-dyed yarn. Their soft rose base, which is an 85/15 superwash merino nylon, and the colorway is called Wax Seal. I really love this like burgundy, red, pink, purple color. I think it's gorgeous. And I'm gonna cast on a hat. Can you see it? Yeah, it's gonna look really good. I do think this is going to be one of the things that I keep, like, I don't want to like work on this too much now, because I want this to be my travel knitting when I'm on my trip, but I would like to cast it on now and just get it started. I don't know, I'm just like craving seeing this color like start to get knit up. I'm gonna do one of the ribbed hats that I talked about in the last episode. I'm not sure, but I think I also mentioned that I am an affiliate member now with Ruby and Roses, so if you're interested in this color or any of the other colors that she has on her website, she has a ton of colors that are available now that you can order. I would love it if you click the link in the description box down below and shop through my link. It would mean a lot to me. So yeah, next cast on coming soon. And let's see, that's like all of the knitting. Oh, let me chat to you about the yarn shop that I visited last weekend. Okay, look at my tote bag. So I went to visit the Knitting Lounge. This is a brand new yarn shop in Simi Valley, California, a bit northwest of LA. So I grew up in the San Fernando Valley. Simi Valley is like, you know, the one valley over. And yeah, super close. So I went and did a little shopping, and I met the shop owner, Corinne. She was so lovely and so nice. She actually opened the shop a little bit early so that I could come and meet her because she had another obligation during the day when the shop was usually supposed to be open. I mean, the shop was open. She just wasn't there because she had somewhere else to be. So it was so nice to meet her and that she like made the time to meet me while I was there. Anyways, it was very nice. So I got some things. I was very excited. It was really exciting to see that they had Knitting for Olive in store. None of the yarn shops that I have ever been to have carried Knitting for Olive in store. So I picked up 4 skeins of the merino. I really was just like sitting there for probably like 30 minutes staring at all the colors that they had, trying to figure out what I wanted to get and what I wanted to make. So I ended up with 4 colors here. Let me see if I can... there we go. Okay. Look how pretty these are. Okay, so this orange one is called Autumn. The burgundy is Bordeaux. The green is Dusty Olive. And the purple at the bottom is Artichoke Purple. So I just thought these were really fun. I thought they kind of went together a little bit. So I'm considering making a hat with these. I think I'll do like a striped, like ribbed hat or something would be kind of nice. I also have, like I knew I had in my stash, the Dusty Aqua. Okay, so I knew I had this one left over in my stash from when I knit the sweater number 15, the cabled sweater by My Favorite Things Knitwear. And I knew they had this in the store as well. So I was kind of looking at all 5 of these together. It kind of looks nice, right? It's kind of a fall palette. This artichoke purple is a little bit lighter, a little bit spring, but I kind of liked it. Although these 4 together are really nice. Hold on. Let me make it so you can actually see what's going on here. Okay. Yeah, those 4 are really nice together. So, I don't know, we'll see. Like a striped ribbed hat or something, I just feel like would be really cool in these colors. Or maybe this is like an inspiration for like a fully striped sweater. Maybe I'll get more. I don't know. I haven't really decided yet. So we will see. Let me show you what else I picked up. Got the tote bag, obviously. I had to. They also had one that was these yarn balls with a crochet hook. I actually picked that one up first, and I was like walking out, and Corinne stopped me and she was like, wait, we have knitting ones. Don't you want the knitting one? And I was like, oh yeah, I like didn't even notice. I got a sticker, just a holographic that says the Knitting Lounge. I'm gonna put this in my knitting journal. And they had these sweater tags by Sarah Hartz. This one says made by me, and this one are cute little animals. There's like a dog and a bear. I think there's a cat and a bunny. But I just thought these were super cute. And I do have some of my sweaters that I like really can't tell which is the front and which is the back. So I'm going to sew these in, so I'm really excited about these. And then the last thing I got is actually a gift from my mother-in-law. She crochets, and so I got this cute pouch that says Crochet Badass with a crochet hook. I thought it was fun. I think she'll like it. It's got a little purple tassel on it, so yay! That was everything. So if you are ever in the LA area, in the San Fernando Valley or in Simi Valley, and you're looking for a great yarn shop to check out, I would really recommend going to the Knitting Lounge. If you see this and go because of me, tell Corinne that I said hi. And I believe they do knit nights on Friday nights if you're in the area. So, yay! Next time I go back there, next time I go back to visit my family, I'm definitely going to be headed back to the Knitting Lounge. Hopefully I can stay for a little bit longer and knit, and I don't know what else, do more things. But it's really exciting that there's like a knitting yarn store near where I grew up and near where some of my family lives. So love that. But yeah, that was it. I had to look to see if I had any more acquisitions. I don't think so. I think those are my only acquisitions this week, which is good. I do have more yarn that's like on order that isn't here yet. I'm really trying to slow down, but just like these collections just keep coming and coming and coming, and I have to order. I have to support. So yeah, definitely have enough stuff. I'm looking at everything that I just showed you that is sitting on the bed. Have enough stuff to keep me occupied before I go to Ireland in, oh my gosh, what's today? Oh, September 1st. We're a little over a month away. I leave on October 5th. So I have enough to keep me occupied until then. And then when I get back from Ireland, I really want to do a video that's like fall, winter cast-ons inspired by my yarn stash. So I have some patterns and like some yarns, again, that I've had in here for a long time that I just really want to use and get on the needles. So that's really what I want to focus on when I get back from Ireland. Now this could all change because I might buy some yarn while I'm traveling and need to get that cast on right away, but we'll see. But that's my current thought and my current plan. So yeah, I think that is everything that I have for you today. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed already, please take the time to subscribe to my channel. It would really mean a lot and would ensure that you never miss out when I upload a new video. I hope you get some time to knit today and this weekend, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!